What's up, guys? Studying Simplified back with another video. Today we're gonna go over some advice for distance learning.
We want to preface this video by saying obviously we're not experts, we're just two high school students, but this is a lot of the things we discovered worked really well for us last semester during distance learning, and we wanted to share this with all of you so everyone could have the best possible year in these unfortunate circumstances. So I think the most important thing is to hold yourself accountable in some way. That could be you yourself if you're good at holding yourself accountable, or I know a lot of kids aren't. It could be friends or family or parents, apps, teachers, whatever it is. I know for me last semester it was really helpful. Dylan and I and a few other friends actually had a study group, and we would FaceTime and do studying for our AP tests every single day, and that kept me on top of it. And because we were all being held accountable to each other, we were all much more productive and efficient. So I think friends are a great way to be held accountable, but whatever works for you, I suggest you do that and figure that out. Along with holding yourself accountable, I think it's really important that you set a schedule for yourself. Because distance learning feels so weird and so different, it can be tempting to not really want to do anything or do things at weird hours. So if you can set a schedule for yourself, even just general, like however your school works, in these hours I'll be doing work and in these hours I won't. Or even more specific, like these hours will be for math, these for science, whatever it can, so you have a set schedule will help you stay on top of it and be held accountable.
Google Calendar is really helpful. That's what I use. I break up my day in between what specific subjects I'm doing at which hours and which times I actually have to relax and eat lunch.
Another really important thing, which we understand won't be possible for everyone, but if you can, is to try to keep a separate space for your school stuff and your not school stuff or your more fun stuff. Like we said, we know not everyone will be able to do this, but if you have an extra room in the house, do that. Or even just if you have a desk, like use your desk only for school and the other side of your room for more fun things. Whatever it is, just try to keep some separation so it can feel like I'm in school even though you're at home.
With that point, it's really helpful to separate yourself from all distractions. So if you have your phone, just turn that off and put it to the side, clear your desk, make sure there's nothing that can distract you, because already in school, it's somewhat hard to focus for some people. So I can imagine that it's harder to focus at home. So try your best to separate yourself from all distractions, whether that's sitting next to a parent that can help you um, keep yourself from being distracted. Just anything you can do to stay focused. Another way to keep yourself from being distracted and staying focused in your Zoom meetings or whichever platform you're using is to actively participate by asking questions just directly through the Zoom, or you can just go in the chat room, message a friend, or message the whole chat room, or just your teacher. Just anything you can do to make sure you're actively participating and you're engaged in the class, rather than just laying back and easily getting distracted. So if you find yourself needing more information, or just if you want to get ahead on your schoolwork, you can always email your teachers, ask them for extra resources to further your knowledge, or just ask them for the next lesson so you can get ahead and just keep yourself busy rather than just having way too much extra time.
But personally, one of the most challenging things about distance learning is that I'm sitting in one place all day staring at a screen for long hours. So one thing that I found really helpful is trying to get some exercise throughout the day. That could be again, depending on your schedule, that could be like a midday quick workout, a midday run, or in the morning or at the end of the day. But whatever it is, because you're likely going to be sitting down staring at a screen for a lot of hours, just try to get some exercise, do something active. It'll help energize you for that day or the next day and keep you from getting too bored.
To make sure you're not falling behind or confused in your distance learning classes, make sure you familiarize yourself with the entire site. Make sure you know how to download, upload, all stuff like this. Ask questions in the chat room. Just familiarize yourself with Zoom or whatever platform you're using, or even your school website. Like we use Schoology, which is like an app or a website where we can upload and communicate with our teachers. Just make sure you familiarize yourself with that so you're not falling behind, and it'll just save yourself some confusion in the future.
So another big thing is don't be scared to ask for help. Distance learning is not ideal for most people, and you probably aren't that familiar with it. Besides whatever you had last year, your teachers probably won't be super familiar with it. And I know a lot of students and people in general don't like asking for help, but especially when everyone is experiencing something so new, it's really important not to be scared to ask for help. There's nothing wrong with that. asking for help doesn't mean admitting you can't do something, but at the same time, there's absolutely nothing wrong with admitting you can't do something. So just don't be scared to ask for help if you need it. One other important thing, kind of going along with the last point, is that this is not an ideal circumstance for most people, and a lot of people know that. And it's okay, like, to struggle or to fall behind and to ask your teacher, hey, can I please have an extension? Blah, blah, blah is going on. I mean, every teacher is different, but the vast, vast majority of teachers are understanding and try to be empathetic and helpful, and especially during a time like this.
So those were just a couple tips that we could give you for distance learning that we utilized towards the end of last year. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. Like, subscribe, comment if you have any questions. We'll be happy to respond. See you guys in the next one.